Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering all of the major transits using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, because it will be the most overall accurate for you. The sun sign horoscope will pertain more to your career and your life goals, whereas your moon sign horoscope will tell you more about your family life and your current living circumstances. If you have time to watch all three horoscopes, I recommend that you do so because it will give you a very well-rounded and blended picture of what you can expect for the month ahead. And now let's dive into the horoscopes. Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. On the 3rd of September, Mars in Virgo in your 5th house will be opposed by Neptune in Pisces in your 11th house. The 5th house represents your hobbies, your passions, creative projects that you're working on, and it also represents owning your own business. The 11th house is all about your long-term goals and aspirations. It also represents your long-term projects. So any kind of creative project that you're working on, or even if you're putting effort into owning your own business, you may just feel like the energy and the effort that you're putting in are not yielding tangible results. You may be just about ready to throw in the towel at this point because you feel so disenchanted and disappointed by how your long-term goals and projects are going. It's important to remember that Neptune here is creating some kind of illusion. It's actually masking the reality of the situation. So things are not exactly what they seem. So if you are on the edge of basically, giving up owning your own business, or you don't want to work on some kind of project anymore, just hold your station, because this opposition to Neptune indicates that what you are working on has a spiritual benefit. It has a spiritual impact on a large group of people. So just know that this is a very transient energy, and the more effort and energy that you put into something where you're feeling upset and frustrated, the more Neptune is basically going to dissolve this energy. So just push the pause button on it for a day or for a week until you're able to restore your energy and basically reconnect to why you want to be working on this project or on this passion of yours in the first place. Now, on the 5th of September, Mercury in Libra in your 6th house will trine Saturn in Aquarius in your 10th house. The 6th house and the 10th house are both work houses in astrology, so this particular transit can see there being a positive return on the effort that you put into your daily work practices, and this is represented by the 6th house. Now, the 10th house represents your public persona. It's where you are most visible. So all the passion and joy that you have for your work, as represented by Mercury ruling your 5th house, will be very, very visible when it comes to your public persona. And if you work in some sort of large company where you've got a boss, or there are some people that you want to impress at a higher station than you, you can actually impress the pants off of them. And this is because Mercury ruling your 5th house represents your creative gifts and your natural intelligence. So any work that you've done to hone these skills and these talents will impress your superiors. Now, on a different level, this can lead you to having more stability in your career. This could be a result of impressing people in high places at your work, or just in the industry that you work in, or this could actually be cementing your position as a leader in your chosen industry. Now, communications with your boss or with an authority figure, or even just an influential person in your industry, could go very well. Now, if you're wanting to alter your daily schedule in order to take care of your children's needs, as represented by Mercury ruling your 5th house, or even having time off for your own health and well-being, this conversation with your boss could go very well. It may just be a temporary sabbatical that you're able to take. You may be able to adjust your flexible working hours as represented by Mercury in your 6th house, or you may even reduce your hours to a part-time schedule. Now, the 6th of September, Venus in Libra in your 6th house will trine Jupiter in Aquarius in your 10th house. And once again, the 6th and the 10th house are work houses in astrology. So this can see you absolutely loving your work, enjoying your daily workout regime, experiencing good health, and essentially just, enjoying your daily rituals. Now, any work that you do around this time can be circulated to the masses, and that is because Jupiter rules your 11th house, which represents your wider network. It represents social media, and it represents the internet at large. So any work that you do and the joy and the love that you put into this work will be very, very visible in the public eye. Now, on a different level, your status may be elevated for some sort of work that you contribute, and this can see you becoming a very influential figure in society, or even just an influential figure in your chosen industry. Now, you may be receiving a lot of compliments for the hard work and the dedication that you are putting into your everyday practices. Now, the 6th house doesn't just have to represent work. Like I said, it does represent your daily workout regime and your health. On a broader scale, the 6th house is connected to things which are out of balance, and it's sometimes referred to as the house of conflict. With Venus in your 6th house trining Jupiter in Aquarius in your 10th house, you can resolve some kind of workplace conflict, or you can even experience some sort of reprieve from any kind of health issue that you may have been battling. And this could be due to the support that you receive from people in your workplace, from human resources, or even from your boss. Now, on the 7th of September, there will be a new moon in Virgo in your 5th house. It will be opposite Neptune in your 11th house, and it will be trining Pluto in Capricorn in your 9th house and trining Uranus in Taurus in your 1st house. I know that's a lot to cover, but just bear with me because I'll run through a few different ways that this can play out in your life. The 5th house represents romance, your hobbies, passions, and owning your own business, like I mentioned earlier. So for some of you, you may be starting some kind of new romance. Now, this could be with a foreigner. This could be with someone who has a very different cultural background to you, as represented by this trine to Pluto in your 9th house. And on a different note, they could just be a Scorpio, once again shown by the trine to Pluto, or it could even be a Pisces, as shown by this opposition to Neptune. Now, you may meet this person while you are abroad. You could meet them while you're studying, whether that's at a university or college, or perhaps you'll even meet them at some kind of sacred place. On a different level, for some of you, with this new moon occurring in your 5th house, you will discover some kind of new hobby or new passion. Now, this could be connected to foreign languages. You may be interested in traveling. You may suddenly be interested in spirituality, or you may want to study something that you're extremely passionate about. And lastly, with this transit, you may be inclined to start your own business. And for those of you who own your own business, this is a very positive indicator for expanding that business and going global. With this trine to Pluto in your 9th house, this can see your popularity blowing up out of control. Now, on the 15th of September, Mars will enter the sign of Libra, which means it will be transiting your 6th house. So this can see you putting a lot of effort into your physical health. You may be working out a lot. You may be taking better care of yourself physically. This can also extend to health as well. So maybe you're deciding that you want to incorporate more healthy daily habits. The 6th house, once again, represents conflicts. So with Mars here, you can be extremely assertive. Mars actually likes transiting the 6th house, or even being in the 6th house natally, because Mars is a strategist. It is able to solve conflicts. And with Mars ruling your 7th house of one-on-one relationships and your 12th house, which represents your hidden enemies, some of you may be inclined to go head to head in some kind of confrontation with someone that you have discovered does not have your best interests at heart. This could very well be with someone in the workplace or even with your boss, as represented by the 6th house. Now, on a different level, the 6th house does rule work, so you could just be extremely busy while Mars is transiting your 6th house. Now, on the 21st of September, there will be a full moon in Pisces in your 11th house, and it will be conjunct Neptune, and it will be sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 9th house. Full moons are all about something reaching conclusion. Now, this can see you successfully completing some kind of long-term project, or you could achieve a long-term goal. Now, with this trine to Pluto in Capricorn in your 9th house, this can see you really being transformed in a spiritual manner by the success that you have achieved here. On a different level, the 11th house can indicate that you may receive public recognition or some kind of award for your achievement. In any case, this is a time to actually celebrate your achievements and look back at all the hard work that you've achieved and really take stock of how far you've come. Now, on the 23rd of September, Venus in Scorpio in your 7th house will be opposed by Uranus in Taurus in your 1st house. Now, of course, Venus is your ruling planet. Now, this is a bit of a doozy because Venus represents what you're doing in your relationships with Venus in this 7th house. But Uranus transiting your 1st house is also indicating your actions here as well. So in a nutshell, Uranus represents anything which is unpredictable. It can represent chaos. And in this instance, this can see you making some kind of unpredictable decision when it comes to your one-on-one relationships. In any case, the person that you're dealing with may just be blindsided by some sort of strange action that you've decided to take. Now, with this opposition between Venus and Uranus in your 7th house and 1st house, you may decide to simply end a relationship. Now, because Venus rules your 6th house of work and it represents your employees and your boss, some of you may decide to actually annul some kind of contract that you have. So this could be leaving your job, or on a different note, you may decide that you have to let go of one of your employees. Now, lastly, for the month, Mercury will station retrograde in Libra in your 6th house on the 27th of September. You will start experiencing the pre-shadow effects about 2 weeks before this, so let's say around the 13th of September. Nonetheless, given that this is occurring in your 6th house of work, health, and your daily habits, some of you may be reevaluating whether you want to work at your chosen workplace or at your current workplace. Mercury rules over your 2nd house of finances and your 5th house, which represents your enjoyment of things. So a lot of you will be questioning, is this job worth the money? Is it worth my time? Am I bending myself over backwards to the point where I don't have time to enjoy my life? The 5th house rules over children, and it also rules over romance. So perhaps your work is so physically demanding that you don't even have time to enjoy time with your kids, or to go out on dates, or to enjoy your relationship. On a different note, this can see you experiencing miscommunications with your boss or with your employee. And your money may be on the line here with Mercury ruling over your 2nd house. So if you are required to sign some kind of contract, or if you are entering some kind of renegotiation process, you really want to look over the fine print when it comes to the financial side of things. Now, some of you may need to redo work projects. Your meetings may be delayed. Your deadlines may be pushed back or even brought forward. So if you are leaving things to the last minute, it might be an idea during this period of time, which is 27th of September through to about the 19th of October, to just get ahead of your work commitments. Now, on a different note, a work opportunity can reappear here. So perhaps you were offered a job and you passed up on it. And, this could have been weeks ago, months ago, or even years ago. And now this opportunity has come back around. Or maybe you applied for a job and you were unsuccessful in the interview process. Maybe you didn't even get an interview, or maybe you just missed out to another candidate. This retrograde period will see you having a second shot here. Now, on a different note, the 6th house rules over court cases. So you'll want to be really careful with paperwork and documentation that you need to prepare for this case. Your paperwork could go missing. You may just not be able to find some very important details or receipts, or even be able to track down important emails which you need to provide as evidence. So make sure you are doing your due diligence, but also if you have a solicitor who's advocating on your behalf, they may be dropping the ball here. So you really want to be riding them and making sure that they know what's what and that they have all of their facts in order. Now, lastly, with Mercury being retrograde in your 6th house, this represents an opportunity for you to implement new daily habits. Now, given that Mercury rules over your 2nd house of food, if you are trying to cut out some kind of unhealthy food or basically just implement a new diet, this is a great time to do so. And of course, if you are seeing doctors or if you are required to submit referrals to some kind of specialist, you just want to make sure that your doctor has actually sent through the referral. So make sure that you are chasing up anything which pertains to seeing any kind of health professional. And so, Taurus, that's all I have for you for September 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Enjoy your month ahead, and I will see you guys next month.